Hi, I'm Mark Ewan from Laidlaw College, where I teach New Testament, and I'm just sharing some insights around the COVID event through some videos based around questions that I've got myself or other people have raised. One of the things is, what insights can we gain from the biblical world from this COVID event? Well, the fear that this COVID event is generating, as we see people rushing into supermarkets and grabbing toilet paper and Panadol and other things, would have been normal in the ancient world. We are so protected in our world from bad events, with our lovely houses that stand strong often, most of the time, in earthquakes and things like this, and through medical science, which is wonderful. And so we tend to get complacent. But in the ancient world, they weren't. They did not have the medical facilities. Only a small percentage of the population had access to medical care, and it was extremely rudimentary and based as much on superstition as anything medicinal. They had a life expectancy of between 35 and 40 years. Those in the higher social classes would live longer. Many of the society was on the breadline. In fact, there wasn't a middle class. Think of a third world country. Well, this is fourth world. This is even worse. They don't have anything of modern science that we've got today. So this was normal for them. So this helps us understand why the Bible is full of a concern for purity, cleaning hands, not touching the sick, not touching the ill. Many of these things were in place to preserve the community from sickness that could spread like a contagion. And the way they had to deal with it was the way we are now, through cleanliness and self-isolation. It also helps us understand how amazing Jesus was, because he stepped into a world that was like that and broke all the rules by putting his hands on lepers and other sick people in a culture which feared contamination. He shows us how much God loves us as we suffer. Let's say we're sick and we're unwell. The ancients would say, hey, you've done something wrong to cause that to happen to you, not Jesus. Jesus doesn't think like that. Jesus reaches out and lays hands on those people. He touches dead bodies on coffins. He touches lepers. He had the power to heal them. We have the power to comfort, and if God so chooses, to do a miracle. So we see in this COVID event how to respond to the sick. We don't run from them, those of us who are in a position to help them medically, or those of us who have someone in our house who's dealing with it. We care for them and we love them. This event shows us what love is. We have to remember that most of the population will not die from this. Some will not get sick at all. Some will get mildly sick. Some will get very sick and recover. However, we already know that it's the vulnerable who are going to be hit with this, if people are, and they're going to die. So we have an opportunity to put into practice the essence of Christianity, which is to love others as we long to be loved ourselves, and to do for others what we would long for them to do for us. So this is where we need to see how we can help those in our community. We don't want to get in the way by spreading the contagion, but what can we do? The first thing we can do is pray. But many of us can get into a position where we can help some of the helping agencies that are out there. I think over time we're going to see those opportunities come, and us Christians should step up and serve. We also are helped with our Christian understanding of social justice. Social justice in Christian terms says the strong help the weak. This is an idea found in Romans 14 and 15, 2 Corinthians 8 and 9. So this is an opportunity for us to put it into practice. We who are strong, says Paul, bear with the vulnerabilities of the weak. So whoever we are right now, we have to limit our movement. The best thing we can do is limit our movement to limit transmission. This is us enacting social justice on behalf of the needy. This is us loving our neighbours. Normally, to love your neighbour is not to stay away from them, but this time it is. But when they do get unwell, we care for them with the compassion and the generosity of the Good Samaritan and the parable of the Good Samaritan, where the man was injured by the side of the road and he went and helped him. And so our society is built on this premise: the sick we will look after. And so that's why the rest of us have to stay healthy, so we don't fill up the ICUs and the beds that are there, so that they're there for the very needy. They're the ones who need that. So what we do is we stay away and we obey what we're meant to do. We also learn in this time what faith really is. Faith is really seen in times of trial. You really know what a person's about when they're squeezed. We're under trial in an unprecedented way. We are afraid. We are in danger. In this time, this is when we are calm and we press into God, we experience His peace and His support, and we become a support to others, even if it's just through social media, even if it's through a phone call. Think of the people in your network. Let's be connected with each other. Let's ring each other. Let's say, how are you doing? And let's support each other. What we learn in this event is kind of like what the world was like back in the day of God, of Christ, when He was on earth. People were scared and they were frail, and that's why they came to Jesus in their thousands, because this is our God who heals. Well, the good news is that every one of Jesus' miracles is a sign of the world that's coming, when there'll be no more sickness, no more tears, and no more suffering. But in the meantime, we're left behind on planet Earth to trust in Him and to reach out in love to help those around us. And the first thing we can do is stay away from others. But let's stay connected. Let's use the tools that are available to us to connect and to spread love. God bless you all.